Welcome back, everybody. This is Sykes Talks, formerly known on YouTube as Death Talks, aka Harley or Harley Quinn. I hope you all are doing great tonight. I just wanted to start a new series of topics. This is going to be my playlist corruption/conspiracy. And I'm going to start with Hillary's America. I want everybody to look at this. I want you to share it to your friends. I want you to understand what you think you're following, especially Democratic people that don't know what they're talking about. And I want you to see the corruption that they do amongst these governmental political parties, and mainly who's behind the racism, who's behind trying to control people, trying to scam people, and trying to make pretty much all of us their bitch. Okay, like control, because they have nothing better to do with their lives but to try to control another human being's life. And I want other people to understand that what's going on in the world today, if we don't fight back soon, if we don't take these differences amongst us, whether it's color, whether it's sex or gender, whether it's sexual preference, or whether it's gangs for that matter, and mafias and cartels and all that shit, if we don't stop fighting amongst each other, there ain't gonna be nothing left. Our kids, our future is over. Y'all need to start trying to bond together. Like, dude, gangs are originally made to, cause discipline and have respect amongst their people in their area. But they're also there to protect those people too. That's originally what a gang started for. Like, I mean, Robin Hood is a good example. I don't know if he's actually a real person or not, but gangs, in my opinion, are supposed to be there to fucking protect the weak. We need to stop these snitches fucking snitching out on people and shit like that. Name 3, get out free ain't real, dude. Or you guys want to still be sitting in jail. Stop talking to our enemy. There's only one enemy. There's only one gang to be against. And it's the political parties amongst us, especially the Democratic Party. The ones that sit there and tell you that they are for your race and for the minorities. We need to start bonding together, whether putting our differences aside, and whether we like it or not. If we value our children and our future and our legacies, we will put our differences aside and take this country back to what it's supposed to be. It is supposed to be a free country, not a country where justice is only for those who can afford it. Not a country that has a black market for children, as they kidnap people's kids because they don't have the money to afford a lawyer, or the people that they can afford can't fight for them because basically they're afraid of the CPS system. We need to take back our country. This country was meant for freedom. This country was meant to be something different than a monarch, and yet they've changed the monarch only just a little bit, and the only bit that they changed was the fact that the monarch himself and herself are no longer in control, but the parliament is. That's what the House of Representatives said it's pretty much are. So as you watch this video, I want comments below, subscribes, likes. I don't give a fuck if you put dislikes. Please subscribe and fucking share these videos. People have the right to know that this COVID-19, this Black Lives Matter, is a scam to keep you distracted and keep us amongst each other fighting. So we can't stop what they're doing and whatever they're planning. Dude, I have no idea what they're planning. But whatever it is, the fact that they keep this color thing going, like, dude, yes, there are racist people out there. But you know what? There's one race in this world. It's them. They think that they're superior to the world and the law. How many cops need to break the law? How many cops are going to kill somebody, whether they're black or white? How many cops are going to keep getting away with it? Rape somebody, charge somebody with something they didn't do, keep them in there in an abusive environment, and still get the fuck away from it and not be charged. If you are an officer of the law, you should be held up to the max punishment when you break a law. For whatever it is, you are the one person that goes to school and knows when a law is passed. You are told. You know when it's passed. That is your job, is to protect and serve, not punish a slave. And slavery never ended. It just expanded to every single one of us. Those of you that are against Trump, stop listening to the common news channels. They are not telling you the truth. They're not. They don't tell you these things. They don't teach us these things in our classes. Like, you guys need to stand up we need to stand up for our children and our future, or there's not going to be one. That's all I know for a positivity. And we will go to another series next season of this corruption seasons. I want American Corruption. American Horror Story. This is what I'm going to call this. It's basically American Horror Story corruption. Season 1 is Hillary Clinton's America. So let's do this. Please like, subscribe, share, and leave comments below. Thank you guys very much for your support. And let's start supporting each other. Because there's only one enemy we got, and it's either us or them. There's more of them that are going to drop dead and stop fighting against us than there are of us. Because we have something to fight for. It's either that or poverty or discrimination. So please, again, share, like, subscribe, and let's do this.
It all began when the Obama administration tried to shut me up.
United States versus Dinesh D'Souza. Please be seated.
Mr. D'Souza willfully and knowingly violated campaign finance laws.
He gave money to a friend to help her with her campaign. He did not tell her about it. Someone who wants to corrupt a candidate wants them to know. If it were not Mr. D'Souza, we'd have a different conversation. There is not a single case where someone like Mr. D'Souza, who is a first-time offender, has gone to prison. Yet, the government wants to send Mr. D'Souza to a federal prison for 2 years.
The claim of selective prosecution is all hat, no cattle. Here is my decision.
All rise.
It is my judgment that he be locked up overnight for 8 months in a community confinement center. 5 years probation. Mr. D'Souza is required to do community service every week for 8 hours for 5 years. And he is to participate in weekly therapeutic counseling. We are adjourned.
And what was my real crime?
Well, President Obama is front and center in one of the biggest movies of the week. The documentary 2016, Obama's America, examines what the country might be like if he wins a second term.
In that film, I made the following predictions. Obama will deliberately reduce America's power in the world. He will weaken our allies.
The headline we've been teasing and talking about here is the president abandoning Israel.
The US is to shelve the Bush administration's plans for a missile defense system in Poland and the Czech Republic.
After my election, I am more flexible. I understand. I just make this information.
2,000 Russian forces inside Ukraine.
And strengthen our enemies.
It is totally unacceptable for the President of the United States to reward a dictatorial regime.
Russia is to lift its ban on the sale of anti-missile rocket systems to Iran.
At a speech over the weekend in front of a crowd chanting "Death to America," Iran's Ayatollah Khamenei agreed.
Iran has our sailors. 10 American sailors captured in the custody of our enemy, Iran.
The United States has apologized to Iran.
Russia is launching its first airstrike in Syria. Moscow has been building its military presence there.
An intent to prop up Bashar al-Assad.
Obama will bring major industries under the rod of government control.
Obamacare premiums across the country skyrocketing.
Lack of transparency is a huge political advantage.
More than $1 billion wasted and $1 billion more owed.
The website's launch has been nothing short of disastrous.
Obama meeting with top regulators this afternoon to pressure them to finish the Dodd-Frank financial reform bill.
I think it was something like 1,100 new pages of regulations just dedicated, to mortgage alone.
If somebody wants to build a coal-powered plant, they can. It's just that it will bankrupt them. The Keystone XL pipeline would not serve the national interests of the United States.
Obama will double the national debt.
$1 trillion deficits. We've never had one in American history. He's now had 4 in a row.
Obama will slash defense spending.
President Obama's defense chief says he wants to reduce Army troop levels to numbers last seen in 1940.
Giving other global powers the green light to grow stronger.
Russia has doubled the amount of state money allocated to military spending since 2010.
China announced its biggest increase in military spending in 3 years on Wednesday.
Firing off
short-range projectiles into the sea on Thursday.
Seeing the opportunity, radical Muslims will begin to realize their dream of transforming the Middle East into the United States of Islam. And the threat won't stop there.
The city of Paris under attack. Over 100 killed, rocking several bloody scenes.
And moving beyond the borders of Syria and Iraq.
We begin in Brussels. ISIS has claimed responsibility for the blast that killed more than 30 people and wounded at least 200 others. ISIS to launch attacks here in the U.S.
with the ultimate aim of a global Islamic empire. If you make a film criticizing the most powerful man in the world, expect the empire to strike back.